It can hop in. Here we go. Our recording's in progress. This is our paper pumpkin class. This is Brenda Miller from Basking Ridge, New Jersey, and we are on a Zoom class with some of my paper pumpkin subscribers. And we are going to assemble together one of each of the cards in our February paper pumpkin kit called Sunshine and Smiles. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm gonna spotlight my desktop. So, whoa, we have our pretty box. Yay. And we open it up and we have a Mango Melody ink spot. So I think that's a color. I don't think we've gotten that one before. So that's fun to have. And then we have this sweet little stamp set. There we go. We got Beth coming in. So Beth, we're just opening. We just started. So we're opening our box. So we have our stamp set, and then we were talking about, well, actually, we're talking about the reverse side. So there were dies that were available, and I know we talked about it last month, but they sold out even before the month was over. I do have one set. It looks like Lois has a set. It said the little frog and some of the flowers. So you can see that on there. So if you want to borrow mine, you are more than welcome to. And then the reverse side talks about the March kit, which has already shipped out because since we're a little late in this class. But this is our 10 years of growth. It's the 10th anniversary, and my goodness, we've come a long way. I think we can all attest to that because they were not that nice at the beginning. But it says here, let's see, it includes elegant colors and special die cuts, so you can build a card that all your recipients will love, and a free gift in the March paper pumpkin kit. So I thought it was an additional stamp set, but it might be that organizer. So I saw something about the organizer, and if the organizer isn't in March, it will be probably in April. So, all right. Anyway, that's our little advertisement. We open our box and get our package out. Now, I did think that this kit was very cute, sweet and not really childish unless you want it to be. Everybody likes a little playful animal once in a while. So let's go ahead and get this open. And in our little packet here, we have some nice dots. So these look like matte dots. There we go, or glossy matte. I'm not sure what they're called, but I think they're Flirty Flamingo. That's my guess. And we have some raindrops, which are always nice to have. Yay, raindrops. And this kit is designed to go with the Rain or Shine bundle that's in the mini catalog. We have our glue dots and our dimensionals, so you can use all of those today. So the Rain or Shine suite has a lot of fun little additions, and I was going to use some of the suite, and I ended up not, I think, for my alternative projects, but we can talk through some of it. But I'm just going to go ahead and get our instructions out, and I always turn to this this page, which tells us how to sort our supplies. So as we go through, we're going to be making 3 piles. We have card 1, 2, and 3. So make room on your desk for 3 piles. The first thing we have are envelopes, and it's very nice that they are completely lined. Not only are they lined on the front side, which they usually are, but look, if you cut it open, it's also lined on this side. So that gives you a lot more to play with. And funnily enough, I did not even cut open any envelopes today.
Shocking.
I know. I just didn't do it. So, so here we go. So we have these smoky slate, I'm going to say, or basic gray pieces with the die cut out. And these dies are comparable to the diorama dies, which I do not have, but Lois does, and I borrow them from her. So this gray piece goes with card number 3. So you're going to put that in your card number 3 pile and put the rest aside. Then we come,
What color is card number 3?
well, not there yet. So just put it in pile number 3.
Okay.
Yeah, that's next. For whatever reason, that's how they put it in the pile. So card number 2 is the pink. So put that in the middle. So card number 1 is the yellow. So that means that the blue one is card number 3. So there's your answer. Card number 3. Okay. So very conveniently, all the die cuts on one sheet are all the die cuts you need to make one of each of the cards. So you can put the other 2 sheets of die cuts to the side, and we can work on popping all these little guys out. So first we have a little chickadee, and the little chickadee is going to go with card number 2, which is the pink one. And then the little bunny is going to go with card number 1. And the turtle will go with card number 3. There we have that. So you can see that there. Going to the next line, if you will, we have our little frog, and the frog belongs with card number 3. And I'm trying to think, let's do the bigger pieces first, and then we'll do the clouds. The umbrella is going to go with card number 3. And then there are 2.
Slow down a little.
Oh, sorry.
I'm still punching out.
Well, so you can, I'm just punching as we go. So
Frog with number.
Which one are you on?
The frog.
The frog
Goes
goes with
number.
number 3.
Okay. All right, there I'm up there.
Okay, umbrella with card number 3.
Getting them.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right, now we have 2 lines of flowers, and both these lines of flowers are going to go with card number 1.
You need one of each?
Nope. Both of them go with card number 1. We are going to use up this entire thing. Punch out sheet. Okay. All right.
Number 1. Hello. Okay.
All right. Now we have 2, 4, 6 clouds here. 4 of the clouds are going with card number 2. They're all the same, so it doesn't matter which. So 4 go with card number 2, and 2 will go with card number 3. And these punch outs are really the meat of the kit. And I think they're all very cute. Let me make for some fun cards.
2 went with the frogs.
2 went with the frog and turtle.
Okay.
And 4 went with the chickadee.
Okay.
All right, and then our big green piece, this hill, goes with card number 1, the yellow one. And so then you should have used up your entire die cut sheet.
Now I have turtles left over.
Okay, the turtle goes with card number 3.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just slow.
Okay. I just find them so easy. Sorry? No. Beth, how are you? I didn't get to say hello. You're right over there. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, long week.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. So now we have our labels and our kites. So if you want to punch out your kite, the kite is going to go with card number 1. So that's easy. 1 kite to card number 1. And then we have our labels. And so there's an extra one of each, which is always nice. And we're going to start with the long one. So this is the long one. Show it to you. It looks like that. And that one is going to go with card number 3. So the long one goes to card number 3 with the turtle and the frog and the umbrella. Next we have, I'm going to call it the thicker one. It's this one. And this goes to card number 1. And the last one is the banners, and the banners go with the, the flagged ends. That goes with card number 2. And that's everything. How about that? Not too troublesome. Okay. Everybody give me a thumbs up if you are ready to move on. Everything's sorted. Excellent. Okay, so let's push cards number 2 and 3 away a little bit, or however you have yours set up. And let's take the supplies for card number 1. So for this one, you'll notice that when you flip it over, the inside is also it's shaded.
Yeah.
So I got an ombre effect. So if you want, you can give a nice fold to the card. But we are going to work with it open. So if we want to do our stamping first, which is probably the best idea, we're going to stamp 3 things. We're going to stamp the open card. So we're going to be stamping on the inside of the card. We're going to stamp the little label. And we're going to stamp on the kite. So those are the 3 things that we will be stamping. So that said, where's my, there it is. We're going to start with the sun. So the sun is the biggest one. And Beth, I thought of you. There's another sun for you, for Louis, right? We got another sun. And I want to go ahead and mount that on your block. And as usual, I'm going to use my big pad. You, of course, can use your ink spot. And you'll notice that my ink pad is not great. I've re-inked it several times. It's a little shady, but it's okay. I work with it. Hang on a second. I've got hair. I know it's my hair. You can always tell when it's mine. There we go. Long and red. Okay. So we're going to take the sun and we are going to ink it up nicely. If you want to stamp it on your scratch paper first to make sure you get any extra, extra oil that might be on your stamp. It sometimes happens. And we're going to be stamping it right about here. And the reason for that is we want it to show through most of the way or out when we close it up, okay? But that's about where it's going to end up. So it looks like it's what, about an inch down and an inch in, maybe a little bit more than that. That's where I put my sun. I really like the sun too. I could see using this in the future. Okay, once you get your sun stamped, we're going to move on and use the kite. So this just has the top of the kite, and that's what we're going to stamp right into the same section of the kite. You'll see the lines even line up, but afterwards, if you want to use this, it does have the string for the kite. But we don't have to stamp that because it's already done for us on our die cut. So you will ink that up. And it lines up perfectly, almost as if it was designed to be like that. Imagine that. I love when they do that. I'm sure it's hard for them to come up with ideas with just one color ink pad, right? So, because everything has to be the one color unless they give us 2 ink pads, which sometimes they do. But most of the time it's just the one. So we have now stamped 2 things, the sun and the top of the kite. The last thing we'll do is our words, and you can choose whichever ones you want, but the ones that they recommend is the ones that say wishing you sunshine and smiles, which I think is a lovely sentiment for an everyday card or anything. So just ink that up and aim, try to get it straight, which is a little hard for me because of where my camera is, but there we go. Wishing you sunshine and smiles. I'll give you all a minute to get that done.
How was Disney World?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was very hectic. We did everything. Very
Well, that's
busy.
good.
Yes. Yes. Exhausting. I've been recuperating ever since. Between that and coming back straight to classes, you know, that was a little bit hard, but we got it done. All good. So give me a thumbs up when everything's stamped. Okay, great. We don't want to leave anybody behind. For these cards, there are lots of different alternatives that are out there. And they're very cute. And a lot of them are done using the suite, the other elements in the bundle. So if that's something you're interested in, I know that bundle is not currently available, but it will be coming back shortly. I believe it's either next week or the week after that it's due back in stock. So not one of the bundles suites that I got, but I did like the paper, the DSP that goes with it, and that is available. All right. Beth, how you doing over there?
This always happens. I have trouble with the sentiment. I've dorked it up a couple of times.
Oh dear.
I'm not good at stamping it. I don't know why. The top part's not coming out right.
Are you inking it with the ink spot in your hand and then going
Yeah.
to, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's still not working? Sometimes if you rub it, since it's a linen pad, sometimes rubbing it will help get the ink on better for you. Can't do that with the foam pads, but you can with the linen ones.
All right, just keep going. It's okay.
Okay, well, you could always use white cardstock, no big deal for that. That should be the only problem you have, hopefully. Okay, so moving on then, we are going to, did somebody say something? No, okay. Because sometimes I get feedback, and I can't tell. All right, so the next part of this, we are going to be taking this, which is the ground, and we're going to put adhesive on the edges. So you can use your glue dots, you can use wet glue, which I'm going to use only because it's sitting here from last night. And I'm just going to put it just towards the edge. Okay, so you're only putting it on the bottom. I'm going to hold it up. Only on the bottom and the left and the right side. Do not put any on the not straight edge. Do not put adhesive there. And yes, we are putting it on the front, not the back.
Oops.
Put it on the back? if you put it on the back, you can just put it down to the inside of the card, and that your card will just look different. The effect is the same.
I have another one.
Yeah, well, yes, you do. You always have another one. So you're only putting the adhesive on the front and on the left, across the bottom, and then the right side. And then what you're going to do is put it, I found this to be the easiest way, is to lay it down a little bit from the bottom. Okay, so see how I've left a little bit on the bottom? I'm just placing it there. And remember, there's no adhesive on the back. And I'm lining it up so that it goes to both edges. And then I'm just going to close my card. And when you do that, everything gets lined up and put where you want it to be. Assuming you want to make the card the way it looks. Okay. This morning I used my dry adhesive to make it, and I had a hard time envisioning where the adhesive was. But with the wet adhesive, I of course run into the problem where somehow there's always a little extra that comes off on the inside of my card, which I'm rubbing away because I don't want it to be sticky. And it looks like I didn't do a perfect job. It's hanging over a little bit, but that's okay. I'm going to cut that off later. So everything is forgivable on this card. Okay. So now we have our little hill to make this scene. The flowers, we have 2 of them. Okay. And what they recommended, and I actually like this idea, which is why I said you might want to have take your pick tool, is they use the dots for this. Now, they use the dots for a lot of things, but I don't usually use them. However, I did like the idea of using the dots at the bottom of 3 of the flowers. Now we're putting it on the front again, okay? Because these are going to be added to the card. Let me show you. There, show you how it looks. Let me just grab it here. So the inside of the card looks like that. Okay, so we are going to show that we're putting the flowers behind the hill. Okay, and they did that again by using the glue dots. And I'm just using my take your pick tool to easily remove the covering. And I just push them out of the way. I'll clean them up later. And I'm fine with that. And then you're just going to take them. So I have 3 glue dots. See that at the bottom of just 3 of the flowers. You could do more flowers if you want. And I'm just going to put them on the hill on a diagonal like so. Okay. And this way I didn't have to worry about my wet glue, being too much or too little. And that's what it looks like on the inside. Okay. Personally, if I was designing this card, I would never do something like that and be able to see edges. That would make me crazy. But that is how they designed this card. So it is an alternative project. That I will be
Okay. I never used the glue dots. How did you get the white stuff off?
Oh, I just use so I use my take your pick tool just to make sure that I get the glue dot so it's sticky. I lay it down to wherever I'm using it. Let me find a piece of paper. Here, I can put it on the back of this. You lay it down and then you're just gonna pick it off. Now, a lot of people just use their fingernails, but see how I just pushed that? I just pushed it with the pointy end of the tool. I just pushed it off.
I have the hardest time with these.
Yes, I do too. But when you have the take your pick tool, you can get that. Now, granted, I've been doing this all day. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the hang of it. I understand that you might not.
I do not.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Of course. Let's see. Put my list back. And I promise I'll only do that, you know, when I feel we really need it. Otherwise, I'm just going to use regular adhesive and my trusty silicone mat. All right. So how are we doing with that? Do we have our flowers on? Thumbs up if we do. We're still working on those, so I don't want to move on. There are definitely some things about this kit that were not intuitive, and this was one of them.
I think I put the wrong flower on the hill.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter. Then you'll
so-
use the other flower. It's fine. Whatever it
Yeah,
is,
but-
it's fine.
But my stems,
Did you
Yeah,
tuck it behind?
yeah, I did. And it's like I put them too deep.
Oh, so just the flowers are sticking up?
Yeah, not a lot of stems. See, yours are sticking up higher.
Yeah, I
I
just
thought it's because I used the yellow tulip one instead of the pink tulip one. Well, anyway,
yeah, it doesn't matter. You're just showing some flowers. And the way I always look at these, the first one I do is my trial. And then the ones I do after are the ones that are good, my good ones.
yes.
Yeah. All right. So Beth and Lynn, are you ready to move to the next flowers? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, great. Okay, so this time, very easy. We can put our adhesive on the back. I'm just gonna again use my wet. I don't know why. I'm just gonna do it. It's here. Put too much again, always. And the way that these go, you're gonna be tucking them into into the frame or sitting on top of the frame, like so. If you can get it in there, it's probably better. Like that. I somehow did not leave myself enough room. Usually I have plenty of time, but I'm good with it. So again, if you can get it to tuck in, that will be better. See, and I got extra glue here. I hate, okay, I'm putting the wet glue away. I don't like it. Again, not to repeat myself, but
I thought you were coming around.
I'm trying. I try it every time, but giving up. I'll probably use it one more time, but for now I'm giving up. Can't take it anymore. So that was adhesive on the back of the flowers, just put down towards the bottom of the frame. And lucky for me, I'm going to be covering up most of those flowers because now we're going to take our sentiment and we're going to put dimensionals on the back of the sentiment. All right, I'm using my scraps as usual from other kits. These are just regular dimensionals. I use 2, you could use 3. And this is going at the bottom of the frame, pretty much in the middle. Okay. There we have our sentiment. And then to finish off our frame, we're going to use the little bunny. He's so cute. And you're going to put him on with a dimensional. When you do that, you want to put the dimensionals on the left side, the back of the left side. So like so. And that's just because we want to make sure we can stick the string of the kite under his hand or her hand. I think this would make a really cute Easter card too, right? For those of you who might have Easter to worry about. So he's adorable. And as I mentioned, the Rise and the Rain or Shine suite has a bunch of little animals in there that you die cut out too. And so they are really cute. I can't have everything. So I did not get that. And then the last, well, next to last thing is the kite. And the kite, I'm just putting one dimensional at the top, and the rest is just gonna manage itself. And you want to make sure that you put the dimensional all the way on the edge of the frame, okay? Because you don't want any sticking out because it'll close your card. So just make sure it's at the top. And what I found I needed to do was take a little glue dot, and even though they don't recommend it, I found I needed to do that. So you can use regular adhesive, you could use wet adhesive, but I'm just going to use the little glue dots they gave us. If I go there again, I'm just going to pick up one. I'm going to put it right under where his hand is. Remove the cover with my pointy tool, just pull it off, blow it away, and then close my card and make sure that the string sticks underneath his hand. All right. And so now we get to use our fun little gems as the final embellishment. And of course they use 3, like we always do, almost always. These are a little harder to push off. I don't know what happened.
No, they are harder.
Yeah, they're a little harder, right? Yep, but I'm just pushing them off. And I'm putting them where they put them on their little sample. You could, of course, put them anywhere you want. Here we go. And that is that. Now, the thing about this card, and all of the cards actually, is, where do you write? So this one isn't too bad because there's enough space down here that you can write. You're going to have to keep your message kind of brief. You're going to want to write on the card on the inside towards the bottom so that it gets covered when you close it. But it is an adorable card, I must say. So when you finish that, just give me a thumbs up. I know, might have rushed through that last one. Those little steps. I love that they give us a stamp that has the flowers. And one of the things, and I wanted to do this alternative card, but I guess I forgot about it, but making an entire border, like one whole strip of these just stamped in a row and then color in, and then just put that on your card front. Maybe a little ribbon, maybe a little, you can emboss the piece that's behind it, but it makes for a quick and easy card. I love flowers, especially those kind. All right, are we good to move on? Yeah,
Yes.
everybody's good. Great. Okay. Card number 2 is the pink one. And let me take out our sample. This is what it's going to look like. More or less. Oops, I'm echoing. I'm going to mute you guys because somehow somebody's got some feedback there. There we go. If you want to talk though, just go ahead and chime in. But yeah, I really can't take the echoing. Okay, so we're only going to stamp the sentiment on the, oh no, I'm sorry. We're stamping 2 things on this. We're stamping the sun again and the sentiment. So I love this rainbow. One thing that you can do, and another thing I didn't get to, but you could always, to make an alternative card, cut this off and then cut this in half, and you can have 2 cards that have a rainbow background with a layer. So just something to keep in mind. So I'm folding this, but then you're going to open it up again because we want to stamp the sun over here, and it's going to stamp off. And that's okay because we're going to be covering it with one of the clouds. Let me show you. As you can, let me move this over. You can see how we're doing that. And we're also going to stamp our little label. So 2 stamps, 2 pieces. Okay. So again, we need the sun. Ink that up. And making sure you have scratch paper underneath and that your card is open. You're going to stamp the sun right over here. Okay. So you see, we have 3/4 of a sun. Oops. Important to know that you need to open it so that you don't get it on the inside of the card. And then we'll stamp a sentiment. The one that they recommend on this one is "You Brighten My Day," which I think is my favorite one. I used it the most in creating my alternative projects. So that's all we're stamping. Easy peasy. All right. Are you showing me something, Lynn? Okay, you're on mute.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
The stamping spot doesn't come out as dark as your big ink pad.
Well, it could be the spot, it could be how you're inking it up. You might need to do, like twist it on there, like I was telling somebody before, to really get good coverage.
Yeah, I tried that.
Okay, well,
Oh, well.
yeah. I guess it isn't perfect. Give me a thumbs up after you've stamped both the sun and the words. Okay, we got 2, 3.
If you're waiting for me, go ahead, because I'm trying to get it darker.
Okay. Well, this one, you'll see the brighten is definitely going to be darker because it's bolder. So you're definitely going to have that issue. Are you trying to get the sun darker? Is that what you're saying?
Well, all of them, whatever yeah, see, my ink spot is not coming out very well.
Might not be super juicy if you get it.
And I don't have this color.
Mhm. Well, you could use,
How about crushed curry?
yes, I was going to say you could probably use crushed curry instead. You could try that. Go ahead and give that a try, see what happens.
But go ahead.
Okay. All right. So now we have our pieces assembled, and now we just have to put everything together. So we can close it up again, and we can take our first cloud, and this cloud is going to go over the sun. So when we do that, though, we have to make sure that we're only putting a little bit of adhesive on the edge so that that is, it's going to cover some of the sun, but you have to make sure that you don't have any extra. So to be honest, what I did is I used wet adhesive again. See, I'm going to go and do it. You know what? I'm going to use the green one. See if we'll do better with this. Probably not, but I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here. Okay. And that way I know wherever I put my cloud, there will be glue. Okay, so then I'm gonna put my cloud on and I'm gonna hold it for 10 seconds to make sure that it adheres. Because that's what we do with wet glue. Another reason why I don't like wet glue, but it does work pretty well. You could just use regular adhesive to do that as well, but the key is you want to make sure there's no extra glue that comes through. Because that's always a concern when you have an opening on your card. And interestingly, the directions that they give for the next part aren't really very good. I must admit, and I'm going to tell us to do things a little bit differently. Hopefully we won't screw too many things up. But when I looked at other people's online, I was having, because I was concerned about it, I found that they did it differently as well. So I felt justified. We're going to put our little chickadee in the other corner. So we have our cloud in one corner on the left side and our chickadee on the bottom. And again, make sure that when you put your dimensional, oops, you're just doing it at the very bottom of his little body so that you don't seal up your card. And he goes right here. Here's our little chickadee. Oh, it's so cute. And then they had the clouds, and they actually arranged them a little differently because I was actually having trouble with mine. So I'm going to do it a little differently from my sample to make it look more like their sample. And that is they put some adhesive at the bottom of each cloud on the front. Okay, what I'm going to do is again come to the inside here and put some adhesive, and this time I'll use dry adhesive. But I want to make sure it's just a little bit. Actually, no, I'm going to use wet adhesive. You could certainly, the little dots work really well, but I'm just going to put a thin line of adhesive, not even a quarter of the way around on the inside. Down here. Okay. And then without putting it down, well, sorry.
But how should we do it if we're not using wet adhesive?
If you're not using wet, you can use your, I think the easiest way is to put just a little bit of adhesive on the bottom of each cloud, just a little bit. We could always go back and do more if we have to. Because again, that is the way that they are recommending doing it. I just found it a little bit difficult. But the key is going to be putting it together while holding it up. And I'm just going to get it so that you can see what it's supposed to look like. I'm holding it for 10 seconds. So it's 3 clouds going anywhere you can find a way. It's behind a little chickadee. So I still managed to hide one of the clouds, but maybe if you get the point. And so the inside looks like this. 3 clouds kind of bunched on top of each other. And I'm going to wipe away my excess glue. So now my hands are sticky again. Hooray. Oh my God. Okay. What did you do with that, Beth? Was that okay? Or are you still working on it? Okay, good.
No, it's,
Yeah, great.
whoops.
Perfect. Yes. Yes, and you can see your middle cloud much better than mine. Lois, did you get yours well? Done well? Okay. Good enough. Got it.
It's tricky.
Yeah. This is where I was saying, it's not so intuitive necessarily.
No,
Yeah, I said, thank goodness for this class, or this would have driven me crazy. So thank you.
Yeah, it's still driving me crazy. It's the second time I've done it. Okay, Lynn's got it. She's done. Sheila, how you doing?
yeah, that's as good as it's gonna get.
Okay, yeah, that's how I feel about mine too. Okay, so now we're going to take our label and we're going to use dimensionals for that. And I'm just using an edge because I have one. Always easy. And that's going at the bottom. Whoops. Better to do it right side up. But again, just make sure that your dimensionals are not showing through on the back side because it will close your card. And once you have that, you're just going to do your little gems again. And they did here. One here. That is the final card. I do like that rainbow.
Did
But
you
again-
use 2 dimensions?
You can use two, yeah.
On-
Just make sure
Okay.
that when you stick it down, it's not coming through the hole.
Right.
Very cute.
Yeah, well, chickadee is cute.
Again, where do you write on this one?
I know, I was just gonna say that. This one, I don't know, I think you're gonna have to go to the back and write on there. It's unfortunate. It's a cute card, but I don't know. All right. So our third card, whoops, it's not that one. There we go. Is this cute one? It's a rainy day card. Friends in any kind of weather then. So that is pile number 3. For this one, there's no tricky stamping. We're only going to stamp the label. And again, they used friends in any kind of weather. So that's the longest one. And to get it on your block, you put it on the diagonal. Like so. In case you were wondering. There we go. And just one thing to stamp. No sun on this card. love the little umbrella. I think that's my favorite piece. But these little guys are really cute too. All right. So give me a thumbs up after you've stamped your sentiment. We got 2. Excellent. 3. All right, great. Okay, so now we can assemble our card. So as we talked about, these are die cut using something like the diorama dies. I don't know if they're exactly the same, but you can decide which way you want to put it. In other words, you can put it on the, we're going to be adhering it to the inside of the card. And so you can have the gray stick through like this, but I actually prefer it this way. Okay, so you want to flip it around until you get it the way that you like it. And once you do, then you can do the adhering. Okay, so this is again what I was going for. But there's no right or wrong. Once you have it in place, you want to put the adhesive on the front side, so the gray side of the paper. And you're just going to do 1 stripe on each side is enough. Towards the edge. Once you have it, then you can close it up and it will stay in place. There you go. Okay. So again, you're putting the adhesive on the gray side, not the white side. And just laying it in the center and then closing the card. The other way works too, but you know, the other direction, but I preferred it this way, and I think this is the way they did it in their sample too. So when you have that done, just let me know with a thumbs up. Okay. All right. What's nice about this card, everything's going to get adhered to the top layer. And the only thing we have to worry about is not letting the adhesive come through the actual opening. Lynn, are you good? Nope, you're on mute again. When you get it, just give me a thumbs up so I know. Okay, great. All right, so we can start assembling. I'm going to start at the top with one of our clouds, and I'm just going to put a little adhesive at the top part. And again, I'm going to use the dry adhesive. And I'm just going to make sure I just put a little bit at the top. Can you see it? There you go. Just a little adhesive at the top. And then when I lay it down, just going to make sure that I don't have any showing through on the inside. Okay. So that is cloud number 1. Cloud number 2, when you get to it, is going to be the same thing, except I'm only going to put adhesive on the back of the right side. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just make sure that it doesn't stick out, that there's no adhesive to risk closing the card. Here's the inside, and here's the outside. I do love the checkerboard backgrounds on all the cards, that you can cut them apart and use them as backgrounds for other things. Of course. After we have that, we're going to start using some dimensionals. And I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of the Friends in any kind of weather. And I'm only going to use two. I'm going to use one. Oops. One towards the right side and one towards the left side of the back. Like so. And I'm going to lay it down pretty much in the center of the card. Looks like that. And once you have that, I'm going to put on my frog next because it's cute. And I'm going to put it towards my dimensional, one dimensional, towards the bottom of my little frog. There he is at the bottom. And I'm going to tuck him just the littlest bit under. And I'm just going to make sure that there's no adhesive coming through. And I do have a little bit, so I'm going to scooch him over a little. It looks like that. I think he's cute. Now, Lois, some of you know Erica Tannenbaum. She hates frogs. hates them. It's so funny. So she's
Me
not really
too.
happy with this kit. You don't like frogs either?
No.
Yeah, she's got a real problem with frogs. I can understand that because I hate bees the same way.
I would never touch a frog, but I happen to think he's very cute.
Yeah. She doesn't even like these frogs. That's how upset with frogs she is.
That's funny.
So yeah.
Oh,
So if she
I
walks,
think of Frog and Toad together.
what's that?
I think of the book Frog and Toad together.
Oh, okay. That must be cute. Yeah. All right. So now we're going to put our turtle on. And we like turtles because University of Maryland's mascot is the terrapin, which is a turtle. And they won today in basketball, first round of the NCAA tournament. So very exciting. Oh, and Lucas, for those of you keeping score, what's that?
Killed people.
What's that?
Princeton killed
Yes.
Virginia.
Yes. Princeton beat Virginia. That was the big upset of the day.
Yeah, and I didn't pick any of the upsets. I usually
Yeah.
try to pick a couple and I did not.
Yeah, I didn't pick those, I don't think. I know I didn't pick Princeton. I thought about it, but I didn't. But yeah, that was a big
same.
one. But I was going to say, Lucas is in Ireland for St. Patrick's Day. So
Fun.
I know.
Wow.
I know. I had forgotten too that he was going, and he texted me yesterday. You know, I'm leaving today for Ireland. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that's here already. Because he told us over Christmas, but
Yeah.
yeah, with his friends. So happy for him.
So not for work.
No, with his friends from here. So for the
Nice.
umbrella, I'm going to make sure that I'm putting the dimensional on the back of the left side. And they have the umbrella over here for Mr. Turtle. I always think of Yertle the turtle too, right? Yertle
Yeah.
the turtle. Loved Yertle the turtle. And those are all our little pieces that go on this. I think I'm going to push my umbrella down a bit. Yep. And then we finally get to use our, oops, I'm getting a phone call. My husband's calling. Oh, well. He's going to have to wait. The
Raindrops.
Yeah, the little raindrops. Yep. All right, so we are going to they used 5, which was very generous of them, so I'm going to use 5 as well. I think they're very cute, but they also are hard to move, so I'm going to be using my pointy tool, get them up, and then maybe my finger. Just, you want to kind of make sure they're going in the right direction. So that's probably the hardest part of everything. I don't know why these are so stuck on here, but they are.
Well, hopefully that means they'll stay in place
Yes,
nicely.
I was just gonna say exactly that. That's funny. 8:06. I wonder why he's calling. And I'm just placing all of these so they look like they're coming out of the cloud. I wanna, it doesn't really matter though, because right, it looks like it's raining. It's kind of fun. Mm. One more. Whoop. I just had, I don't know about you, but one just shot across my desk. Have to go field it. Here we go. But they do pop on the card, I must say. They're very nice. And that's that. So again, where in the world do you write on this card? So I guess you could write a little message in a very dark ink at the bottom, or you can flip it and write on the back. Still very cute though. So I didn't do a whole lot of extras, I must admit. Kind of felt like they all kind of looked the same because they were, you know, using these same elements, but I'll go through them quickly while you're finishing up, putting your little things on. This was just, I used a white piece in the background and I sponged it. And I also used the embossing folder that's part of that suite. I will show you that. It's raindrops. So they have a raindrop embossing folder, which is fun. Could also be like strawberry seeds, right? You can use it for that. But here I have little raindrops. And I just love that little chickadee. So that's one. And let's see, these are the cards we just made. Put them here. Then this I think is my favorite one. Look how fun that is. How simple is that? Friends in any kind of weather. Just a couple of little raindrops and just added a little string. I thought that was fun. And then on this one, I actually stamped and cut out using the dies that I have, these little flowers. So I would have more to put on. And I just made my own background with a sponge. I sponged the Tranquil Tide on the top, and then the bottom is actually part of, I had cut this one. I cut it once this way, so I would have a border, and you'll see that in a second. Actually, it's right here. So I just use one line here to the bottom of the card. And then this, of course, is the inside of one of the cards. And then I use the rest of this for this card to make the hill. You see how that was done. And I cut apart the rainbow so that I would have the rainbow on the back of the card. And Sheila and Lois, you recognize this from our Something Fancy. This is another one of those dies from there, I think, right? Yeah. And then, of course, because there's an opening, we need a shaker card. And this is done with these are the little embellishments that are in that bundle. They're these cute little resin flowers. And so they do move around. You can't see it, camera doesn't move fast enough, but I just made that into a shaker. And I put just a piece of blue behind it and just decorate it. So you can do a shaker with each of them and just use that foam, the foam strips that we sell. Makes it very easy. And I use transparencies, but you can, because who uses transparencies anymore, right? I was able to buy a box years ago and I still have them. I think there were 100 sheets in there and I still have 75 sheets left, something like that. So yeah, just another way to make a shaker card. So those are my little additions that I did. I thought they were fun, but there are lots more out there. A lot of people made a lot of different things. A lot of people use the kites, again, from the stamp set. So it's very easy to make scenes just like this. I wish they would have included a cloud, because then that would have been perfect if there was a cloud in here. But there is also a cloud punch that we have that we could use instead. But yeah, I just thought it was really cute. And again, I have the dies if anybody wants to borrow them to cut out the little frog and the flowers like I did on one of the cards. And that's it. That's all I have for today. So, any questions, anybody? No? So we'll look forward. We'll be getting our next kits any day now. They're coming.
So when is your next paper pumpkin?
The next
class?
paper pumpkin class will be the first Thursday of the month. I don't foresee any problems with that. So
Okay. Got it, the 6th.
it's the 6th. Okay.
The
Thank you.
6th.
Yes, that makes sense. It's the 6th. So that gives me a little extra time too. So that's good. This month, everything, I guess, because February is short, everything all fell into like this 2-week period, which was the same time that I was going away. It just,
Okay.
it was.
Brenda, is the 6th the second night of Passover?
It might be.
Okay, I just didn't know if that mattered to you, that's all.
Yeah, no, doesn't matter to me, unfortunately. I don't think
Okay.
I'm doing that.
Me neither.
Yeah,
Okay,
so.
Yeah, it's
And
Holy
then-
Thursday. It is the second night
Yeah,
of
the
Passover.
second night, yeah,
Yeah, so I won't be here, but
no.
And then your regular classes, will they be like the 14th and 15th? Because the
Yes.
Saturday, okay.
Yep, 14th and 15th, definitely.
Just
In
think.
case anybody was wondering, the 13th is my 60th birthday, just so you know.
Oh, wow.
No, that's not possible.
It is. Yes, yes,
it
it
is,
is.
it's a big year for 60.
Yeah, some of us are celebrating a very big year, so, well,
Oh,
actually,
some of us are well past that. big year.
yeah.
yeah, but, yep, so it's gonna be a big week, so.
Wow.
All right, everybody. So I will see some of you for Zoom class. If anybody still wants to sign up for Zoom, I do have kits left. So that is on the 28th. And I think that's it. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay.
See you soon.
Good week.
Sorry, Lynn, did you say?
Bye. I said have a good week.
Oh, thank you. You too. You too.
Okay.
Bye.